The following marketing information and discussion is provided for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as professional guidance or consultancy. You should find an agency for that. Comexis is a digital marketing agency, so feel free to hire us. But otherwise, just enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Buyer's Journey by Comexis, a discussion-based podcast on the ever-changing marketing landscape that affects how your customers and clients purchase, ultimately optimizing your marketing efforts. I'm Matthew McGordy, the social media content producer here at Comexis.
I'm Len Moore, the managing partner at Comexis.
And I'm Josh Lyons, the digital marketing coordinator here at Comexis.
So today is Monday, and we are talking about the awareness phase of the buyer's journey. To give a little refresh on what the awareness phase is, it is when a customer or client, potential customer or client rather, is becoming aware of a problem that they are having or aware of a need that is in need of solving. So either they didn't know they have a problem and they find out they do, and then they begin looking for products, or they become aware directly of your product, brand, service, et cetera, and then they begin thinking, hey, that's something that I might be interested in, and then they go into the consideration phase. Particularly today, we are going to be talking about out-of-home marketing and how to sort of mix that into your 2019 marketing mix. So John Scholes on MarTech Today, he had an article called Why Digital Out-of-Home Should Be Integrated in Your 2019 Marketing Mix. And I'm going to go through a couple stats just to, give a general idea of the reasons that he is suggesting we do this. But first, Len, would you mind giving me just a quick, brief explanation of what out-of-home marketing is?
Out-of-home marketing is basically your traditional marketing. That is your billboard you see when you're driving down the highway. It's the bus wrap that you see when you're standing behind a bus. It's maybe like the train, like a billboard or banner on a train stop that you're looking at, or even within a train or subway. You see creative advertisement. That's historically your out-of-home advertising, display advertising type stuff.
All right, and one of the things about out-of-home advertising is, as we've developed and evolved technologically, a lot of billboards are no longer just things that get painted that you see. A lot of them are digital billboards, or if you're on, say, a newer subway or train car, you might have digital billboards there and different monitors and things like that. And Scholes' argument begins basically explaining about how much money is being funneled into out-of-home advertising. Because a lot of the times when we talk about traditional marketing and digital marketing, people think out-of-home is less important, and obviously there's way more money being spent on digital, which I'm pretty sure in general there is.
Digital is, I think, just taking over traditional now.
There you go. But there is a lot of money being spent in traditional and in particular out-of-home marketing. So, for example, the example he gave was Netflix recently spent $150 million on 32 Regency outdoor billboards on Los Angeles' Sunset Strip, a stunt to curtail the threat from major streaming competitors when it comes to grabbing the attention of offline audiences. And he goes on to talk about how Netflix, Apple, Google, other big tech companies, they're all using out-of-home advertising. And the thought process here, and I'd like your guys' thoughts on this once I get through what his suggestion is that distracted viewers make up a significant part of today's TV audience, according to a Deloitte survey. He said 89% of smartphone users say they watch TV while using their phone. So his argument there is, how do you actually know they're kind of processing what you're saying? However, if you are trapped on a bridge or you're stuck in traffic and you're going through like Times Square or something like that, you're going to be stuck, and the only thing your mind theoretically will be able to pay attention to is the traffic and all of the billboards that you're seeing on these roads. So what do you guys think about that?
It's at the point right now where they're really saying, okay, well, what if somebody's stuck in traffic? This billboard's going to work. Look, there is absolutely a place for traditional marketing. Out-of-home stuff still works. It's a huge thing for the awareness campaign. For people to give up on, we have a blog it's one of the blogs that actually gets one of the most traffics on our website, and the title is Do Billboards Work? And next to it says, in a nutshell, yes. So when you kind of go look at it and you think about it, yes, the billboards work, the out-of-home works. It is a great way, for the awareness campaign. And here's why. Because prices are now beginning to get a little bit more affordable because there's a lot more inventory because a lot of people are moving their digital dollars or moving their ad dollars over to the digital platforms. So now you're going to get these large guys who are now able, like Apple and Netflix, are able to buy up more out-of-home space because it's just become a little bit more affordable. Not that they couldn't do it before, but now they can buy in dramatic bulk. I think it's all part of the buyer's journey. I'm a big believer of telling you that there's certain aspects of traditional that's never going to go away. It's what you do with those out-of-home types of things. Like when we hear clients are running billboards or they're running maybe at a train stop and you're not geo-fencing this stuff, where you're having digital support the out-of-home, that's where you're not really letting the out-of-home work for you. Too many people say, I'm going to put up a billboard and I'm going to make all this money. No, you got to do stuff for it. So I'm a believer of it. I completely understand why they're doing it. As a matter of fact, I just saw that Netflix just released Motley Crue, The Dirt. That's their biopic that just came out today. And they had billboards up and down Sunset Strip. They had billboards all throughout the country, and the whole thing Motley Crue was trying to get you to do is take a picture, hashtag The Dirt next to the billboard. A little old school, but it's the movie set in the early 80s. Yeah. So just in a nutshell, it works. So there you go.
What do you think, Josh?
You like that payoff, God?
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing for me is that I do a lot of driving every day when I come into work. So I'm constantly driving up and down the highway. I'm, as a consumer, looking at almost every single billboard that I drive past both directions, even though some aren't digital and some are. The digital ones change here and there. The traditional ones are obviously the same, but maybe it's just the way I think as a marketer and as an advertiser that I like looking to see what other styles of billboard advertisements there are. Now, that's just me personally, but what I've noticed recently is that a lot of companies are doing these billboard ads, but instead of it just being one billboard, they'll do multiple billboards. So if you saw for Bud Light, during the Super Bowl, when they were promoting the whole our beer has no corn syrup, everyone else has corn syrup, they did a line of 3 separate billboards where you would drive past one, you would read it, you would drive past the second, it would continue the sentence of whatever they were talking about in the first billboard, and then the third, it was sort of like that. It's just a different form where it's not like you're just reading something that says, oh, call this number, or put in this hashtag, but it was just a way that you drive by it, you see all 3, you go, whoa, I've never seen something like that before. And for the case of this article, where they basically mentioned when people are sitting in traffic, I think it's a good opposite side, where when people are just driving and their only thing they have on their mind is the road and what's around them, instead of sitting in traffic and looking, you're driving and you're just keeping yourself busy. Because for me, I'm driving an hour every day, and if I'm not listening to something on the radio, I'm looking at everything around me, and those things catch my eye. So when people say that, it sort of backs up what Len was saying, the traditional and the out-of-home marketing is still there, and it still works, and now they're getting even more creative with it, instead of it just being a one digital board or, it's just interesting.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point, and something that I think a weakness of the example of people are stuck in traffic and therefore they have to interact with your billboard is that when I'm stuck in traffic, I'm not in a good mood normally.
You're on your phone.
Yeah, well.
No,
hopefully you're not on your phone.
No, if you're stuck in traffic at a standstill, you're grabbing your phone.
I will give you that.
That's why I think that argument it's kind of really, it's bad. It's lame because it's not true.
It also puts into consideration of what you were saying with geofencing, because if you're sitting in traffic and you're picking up your phone,
yes.
Now you have the billboard.
It's a high traffic area.
You have the billboard up, and you have someone checking their phone, and then they might get targeted, and then you can start retargeting them with the same type of ads that were on the billboard.
Yeah, and the biggest mistake that out-of-home people do when they run a billboard, the number one mistake they make is they'll come up with a great creative concept on a bus wrap, a great billboard like that Miller Lite or Bud Light. Yeah. But when's the last time you saw that same thing hitting you on a retargeting ad on social media. Your creative you put on a billboard has got to be the same creative you're going to be putting on social media.
Right.
And for some reason, a lot of large agencies have not done a very, very simple task, and that's all you need to do. It's got to be cohesive all the way around. So look at it. Next time you see an Apple billboard, when you look online, you're not going to see that ad again. It blows me away that they don't do that. There's got to be, I'm sure some people are doing it, but not a lot are doing it.
One of Schultz's arguments actually is that you should be doing some sort of retargeting campaign because it is more effective, as you mentioned. He points to research by Outdoor Advertising Association of America saying that mobile click-through rates increase 15% when supported by out-of-home ads. And according to ad consultancy Work, 46% of U.S. consumers use a search engine after seeing an out-of-home ad. Going back to my point, in regards to the being mad at traffic, I can tell you probably 7 of the billboards that are on the Walt Whitman Bridge just because of how often I pass through it. So it's effective in some way, even if I'm not stuck in traffic and noticing, because I do look at the bright, shiny things at night when I'm driving through, but just something to keep in mind. One other thing he mentions is that with some of the more high-tech billboards, being able to get mobile location data, delivering consumer insights to update these digital billboards in real time, add contextual things to whether or not it's raining, what the weather is, what traffic conditions are like. I've never seen a billboard like that, but I know enough about tech that to say that that's not possible is a lie. I think that's definitely an interesting dynamic that he is suggesting could occur in the future. So, and then he also mentions that, for KPI, they want to figure out a way to get in-store visitation sort of matched with these billboards using different like geofencing things and household exposure data and stuff like that. Didn't go too in depth on it, but just something to keep in mind that eventually Out-of-Home will hopefully have some more and better KPI tracking. So see if it gets even better and even more supportive of current digital marketing strategies. So, well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of The Buyer's Journey. Check us out on Comexis.com, YouTube, and anywhere you can get your podcasts, including the iTunes Podcast Store and Spotify. And follow us on Twitter at @buyers_journey. Thanks for listening.